Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing fantastic today. Today I wanted to briefly talk a little bit about the concept of working smart versus working hard, or working smarter versus working harder. I think a lot of times we hear this in the context of people who already have an idea of what they want to do with their lives. They have their purpose. Perhaps they've already started their own company, or they are well on their way to figuring out what they want to do and are trying to become more efficient in how they accomplish their goals and things like that. So what I'd like to do is to kind of take a step back. Many of us aren't there yet. I definitely recall when I was doing things that had nothing to do with what I really wanted to do. I had a dream, I had an idea, something I wanted to do with my life. At the time, it was very important to me, and I found myself doing basically work that had nothing to do with where I wanted to go, or did it. So that's what I'd like to talk a little bit about, is that I think when a lot of us are getting started, we find ourselves in a situation where it's easy to get discouraged because we see movies about people who have dreams, and we look up to people who have already accomplished things that we dream of accomplishing. And there's a gap, right? It's not just only a gap of, oh wow, they did all these great things and here I am, I haven't done anything yet. It's, well, they are already on a different track, right? They have these rails that they have laid out in front of them. They've got their train and they're moving forward, where you're trying to figure out how do you make a train? Where do you find the pieces for the rail? How do you even put these things together? All I know is right now, I'm waiting tables, or I'm taking out groceries, or whatever you're doing, right? And if you have a goal and it's unrelated to that, it can be very easy to get discouraged and think, gosh, I'm wasting my time every day doing this job when I really want to be over here. But what I wanted to kind of just take a look at is the opportunities that lie within those things, right? I know, for example, speaking from my own experience, when I was a teenager growing up in Hawaii, I had a deep interest in learning Japanese and going to Japan, and it was something I really wanted to do. In high school, they didn't offer Japanese, so I was trying to think of ways I could learn it on my own. Well, I got a job bussing tables in a Japanese restaurant. I got a job at the commissary pushing out groceries. I tried to make friends that spoke Japanese and any opportunity I could find. So if I was just looking at what I was doing, I'm bussing tables, I'm taking out groceries. I was working at Tower Records. I was working at a record store. I'd also worked for the Japan Travel Bureau, where I would get up in the morning and go to the airport, and I would greet guests from Japan. These were all side jobs that I was doing once I finished high school, and even starting while I was in high school and then going on to college. And then this kind of continued. But I think the point is, if I look at any of those experiences within themselves, yes, there was nothing there, right? There was nothing there that really pertained to my goals. What do bagging groceries have to do with learning Japanese? What does bussing tables have to do with learning Japanese? Things like that. So, but looking for opportunities within the work you are doing, to me, that's working smart, especially when you are still trying to develop a framework for your own life. When we're still working on trying to align your purpose with what you're doing, because they're so far apart, right? When you're at that stage of whether you're a student or you're on a completely different career path, whatever it is, working smart can be looking at what work is for you right now, and looking for how you can take that work and make it applicable in any way, shape, or form. Just kind of whatever you can glean from it that you could apply to what you want to do. I think that's a way of working smart for people, especially who have not gotten on that train. They haven't laid the track. They're trying to figure out which way to go, and I can definitely relate to that. So maybe you love listening to music. If you're trying to learn a foreign language, for example, I keep coming back to foreign language because that's an experience I'm very familiar with. Listen to music in that language. Just do whatever you can. Take what you love, take the opportunities you have, and try to build something within those daily routines that will help you on your way to where you really want to go. So yeah, and I think also we have to remind ourselves the jobs that we have, the work that we are able to do. We should be very grateful for the work because that opens up possibilities further down the road for us, right? When you're first starting out, when I lived in Hawaii, when I was in high school, for example, when I was bagging groceries, I was thinking, yeah, I would like to figure out ways to learn more and explore and further my studies in Japanese and all of these things. And I realized, okay, well, I need a car for that. So I need to work for money because the bus system on Oahu, if anybody's familiar with it, it was really bad in the 1990s. Don't want to date myself. But anyway, so you do what you need to do. You have to realize that these jobs are opportunities that we have to work to make money. That gives us runway, right? That helps us figure out, gives us flexibility to figure out how we're going to go about making those next steps down the road. So I think we should all think about being grateful for the opportunities we have and trying to figure out how we can leverage those opportunities. It's not always about taking something and saying this is not helping me and moving on to something else. A lot of times it is, okay, let's think about where we want to go, think about where we are now, what can I change here and there, or what can I glean here and there from what I'm currently doing that's going to help me, or what can I do on the side, things like that. But in order to do it on the side, right, you have to continue doing what you're doing. You can't just, cut your income sources off and start start fresh with no foundation in a lot of cases. So those are things to think about. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share today. Basically, this whole idea of working smarter versus working harder. I don't believe that you work less hard if you're working smart. To me, I believe the difference is, are you working and conscious of what you can take from the work you're doing that will help you along your journey? Or are you working to try to figure out how fast you can get things done for the sake of getting things done? Because there's a disconnect there in terms of a purpose. There's a disconnect there in terms of an objective. One is, I want to grow, right? I want to learn. I want to figure out how to continue moving forward towards what I believe my purpose is. The other is, I am going to be the best at what I'm doing, and I'm going to work very hard at being the best at doing what I am doing currently. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's one is you're working towards being the best at whatever you're doing. The other is you are working hard, and at the same time you are trying to figure out what can you gain from what you're doing right now that's going to help you get to where you want to go. So a little bit about working smart versus working hard. I hope that resonated with some of you out there, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.